Good dudes. Happy Monday. Happy Mash Monday to you. You're looking so fine. Been working out? I thought so. Look, I'm not the more shrewd amongst you may have noticed that I am not sneezing and coughing, so I'm back in the big headphones. The reason I didn't wear these last week is because I was, not going to lie, concerned I would sneeze so hard they would fall off my head. So we're back in the hi-fi months this week. Feels so good. Feels so right. Welcome back. We'll do a quick drinks tour before the ad comes back in again because I had to pause it. I'll have to work on that advert timing, honestly. Maybe run like a longer pre-roll or something. I don't know. Drinks tour. We have the detox. Boop, boop. As ever. We have the war, which in Mallorca doesn't taste like what it ought to. I think it has magnesium plus sleep in it this evening. We have the standard go-go juice. And then in the guest spot this evening, we have, again, the returning champion, the kombucha with apple and ginger. It's very nice. It feels like it's making me healthy as I drink it, so that's nice. Welcome back to Blueprints. So, as you can tell, we've been playing a little bit since we last were with you, and we've come a long way. So, we have a little bit of catching up to do, which, we're back on the excellent bitrate. That's good to see. I've been making some changes. Sorry about the freezing camera last week. We fixed that. Just a USB issue, a USB bus issue. Don't be running your expensive Camlink 4K through a USB bus. Actually, the USB bus on that, the plug fell out of the wall earlier on this evening, so that may have been something to do with it. It may have just been like it was hanging on by a thread. So yeah, that's all fixed now. So hopefully we should be on a clear run. So let's blueprints. One thing I will just point out. See that little blob behind me on the desk here? Whoop, here. That is the new toy, which is this. Your boy got himself an edge. Got myself an edge, if you know what I mean. I got an edge. I got a PlayStation Edge controller. I've also been thinking about playing Cyberpunk again, so that's why that's there. I will bring down the music in my own ear because it's distracting, and let's get some game sound going as well. So I've decided this week, I think the best thing to do, loudy boy, the best thing to do is to tell you everything about everything that I do, at least for day 50, because it's a solemn day. It's a day worthy of observance. I'm sorry, what are they called? Ratchet and Trig or something? For playing royalty-free beats over your fine piano cordage. It's not meant as an impugnation. Well, hey, look, we can do this, just so that we're kind of at peace with the throm for a while. Then, before the ad break comes back in, I think maybe what we'll do is we'll show you what the start of day 50 looks like. I mean, there's not a lot of difference, but a lot has changed. You may notice off to the side that we have... so there is some discrepancies with stuff that I kind of know and stuff that I kind of happened upon. And stuff that ad's about to start. Well, must we? Okay, so here we are. Look, we're rolling with two Gemins. If we run up here to the Daily Allowance, 32. We got so much money, so much of the money. And I think we start with a key card because last time, hang on, because I'll pop over here. We drew, if you can see, where is it? The not the treasure trove. Where are you? One of these rooms, which is the room, I think actually it may just have been not the gallery, not the office, not the workshop. 6, how are you? Well, I know what I don't know, and it's a lot. I'll tell you that for Nathan Berries. We ended the day in... I'm looking for a nook, maybe? No, pool room. What's that called? Still can't see it. Anyway, I have a perk. I upgraded. Happy Monday morning to you, Mr. Six, by the way. I am kind of thinking that 6-cylinder killer may be a misnomer. Maybe you should be 6-cylinder mender. I know it's not so cool, but there's kind of resonance there. Bunk room, maybe. No. Bunk room's double the money. Servants' quarters, perhaps. Anyway, maybe servants' quarters, because if I ended the run in there, then I start the next day with key card, which is lovely. You'll also note that on this day I filled nearly all the rooms except for that one. Why didn't I open the Great Hall? I don't know, but there's an ad going on. So whilst I spin back through happy times, I've been unable to proc any rooms that are not Break in progress ends in a minute. I've been trying to find the when was the last time we had anything? Tomb. Tomb is what we miss. It's been 10 days since we've seen the tomb. And I know there are reasons, big reasons why I need to get back in there. Look at this. We filled up the whole thing. What a happy day. See, and Tomb was then 2 days before that, and Toolshed and Hovel and Tomb. I have a feeling that we used up all our tombs. Maybe that was the problem. Outbreak ends in 27. 2 of 4. Jeez. Well, I can only apologize. I'll keep flipping back through the days and trying to remember, that doesn't look like a good one. What happened there? Did we run out of keys super early? We kind of must have done. 63. Maybe I spent... Perplexing Inn of Tomorrow. Also not great. We ended at the cellar. We couldn't get out the boiler room. Probably keycard related. Got quite close there. Anyway, I've also thought about... looks like we're back in the room. I've also thought about... is there no game sound? There's no game sound. The game sound is so quiet. If I had the magnifying glass, we could read that. This is what you get when you get to room 49 for the first time. Dear Baron, welcome to Mount Holly, your home. I still remember the first time I was addressed by my title. It was quite a bit older than you, I can imagine. But it still felt strange, especially after a lifetime of hearing my father addressed daily by the same title. But life is a journey of growth, growing up, growing older, growing wiser, and in our case, growing into the Baron of Reddington. The Baron doesn't have to be a daunting figure. He could be quiet and unassuming, or loud, brash, and boisterous. He could be deceptive or trustworthy, humble or bashful. I've always thought humble should be humile. I don't really understand why, but it makes more sense to me. Or any measure of other things, but always clever. When I inherited Mount Holly, I never had to prove myself. They just gave me the keys and left it at that. It felt too easy, too trivial. and very undeserved. Experience comes with time, but without validation. I spent the better part of my youth questioning myself. I think that's a kind of very valuable part of everybody's youth, is it not? And as I grew older, that lack of conviction and aimlessness amplified. I never really had any goals or objectives to strive towards. I never had any dreams to realize. I never set my sights on something beyond the horizon. I never had a room 46 to reach. And now that you have reached your goal and are basking in your well-deserved glory, shiny trophy in hand and showered with accolades and titles, will you be content to stop there? Or will you look into the horizon and wonder what dreams lie ahead? Ovin Nevarai, Herbert S. Sinclair. So that's the kind of lie of the land, and that was back on day 17, I think. So we clearly have not settled. And I think, so the trick, there's not a trick. We'll leave that unlocked. We will. So what we have to do is get fat cash. I don't mind a bit of that. We also have to... Yeah, we'll get steps, that's fine. And then for over here, I like to open these 3 doors. Whoop. I've accidentally left my cursor on the screen, which is always... I'm going to burn a gem getting into there. I'm having a look. I'm not seeing a shovel. Jex, how are you? Happy Monday morning. I can tell you from the other end of Monday that it was sometimes rainy, but mostly fine day. Work went pretty smoothly. Take one step backwards. I would never take any steps backwards. I'm going to... let's do classrooms today. Sorry, I ran past the magic number. Oh yeah, auto mod? Really? Really? There was an auto mod? Come on. It's your booty? I'm going to have to do something about this auto mod situation. What's ahead for your weeks, gentlefolk of the Twitch-verse? I'll see if I can find some more steps. Actually, look, if we go in here, that'll be 2 more. Oh, so close. And we'll take the coin purse. Make of that what you will. I'm sure that you can find entendre multiplus. I would love to start with the classrooms, but I need access to the to the foundation. So we'll take that and we'll see what the power pack. That's fine. I finally figured out what this is. It's just the same as like if I had pictures in here. It's not very exciting. Okay. Just in case you didn't know, pictures like this, that's pry bar, pry, and this is pray, and the difference between the two is A. So this room has an A, and in the grand scheme of the... I'm trying to be on top of Twitch mod. The grand scheme of things, we have an A in this room, and then we would have, say... another letter in here, another letter in here, and it spells out a vital clue. Sorry I don't have the booming, resonant baritones of last week. I'm going to take that because I need to go south. Faced with the reality of one of 3 options, leave Automod alone. To our frustration, expect us to change our naughty tactic? No, never. Soften up Automod and we will live happy, fruitful lives moving forward. Or I can just be more observant. That's another option. Let's go south. No good, no good, and no good. Actually, library. I'm a little reluctant to leave the. No. You're not revolting. Look. Oh, treasure map. Nice. We also need to order this book. And we have a treasure map. Me hearties. Come on, where's the treasure? Okay, 4 down and 1 in. But if you can remind me periodically that I do need to attend to the mod, that would be very handy. Now, I've left myself a little bit resource light at this stage, which isn't great. We could pick up the 3 keys for the garage, or the let's spread our resources around a little bit, which is not what you should do, because you should never bet on all horses at the same time. That way trouble lies. So what's ahead on your Monday weeks, your Mondays, the start of your week? There's value in that because we need a certain set of rooms. I'm chasing too many different masters. Look, we can close off this entire. Let's do it. This gives us some dice. Nice. We can re-roll rooms. 6. You're up early again. I'm not complaining, obviously. Okay. I'll explain this room. We have cot and coat. So this room is an A room, which kind of explains this a little bit. About to go to work. Boo, I know. I mean, I expected this because this happened last week, of course. Face and ace. Yeah. So there's a message written all across the layout of this house, and that's a king, which we will need later on. The clue for this is the fact that this guy is on the chessboard here. It's on D8, which is, of course, December the 8th. Being, of course, 1208, which will get us... Letter number 2, which December the 8th, M. Be prepared for our plans to be set in motion in a month or 2. It's all lining up, and all our hard work is about to come to fruition. I have just learned that several members of the museum guard are sympathetic to our cause. We suspect 2 or more to be pure opportunists whose loyalty extends only as far as their coin purse. Your uncle has already agreed to let us use Mount Holly's flexible floor plan for a trial run, assuming that the red print we have secured for the museum's closed exhibit is in fact accurate and up to date. We should begin these trials without delay. Once you arrive, if you can without the next 2 months, fabricate some fiction that might alleviate us of the presence of the servant staff until we meet on the shore of the White Sands. Caleb. You're just up early like a crazy person. So you have like a while before you actually have to go to the working of the work? And you're just sort of like up. What time do you go to bed? I mean, that's a kind of personal question, but hey, don't knock the coin purse. It's a necessity in some. Okay. We've got a hammer. This guard's coin purses don't extend as low as mine does. Late Middle Age isn't kind to many. Look, I'm not a man to blow my own horn because I'm not that supple. But okay, this time we can stick a classroom in here. Parlour would be fun, but classroom we need. I have to say, I'm not really cognizant of my coin purse hanging much lower than it ever did, honestly. I'll do my streamings as I work, but that'll probably have to change soon. I try to go to bed before 10. There's a difference between going to bed and going to sleep, though, am I right? So this pertains to a couple of things. One is the puzzle in the power room, and the other pertains to the colours of the flags and the symbols of the the symbols of the countries. But it's early days as yet. Oop, that's not a door. Where's the door? Give me the door. Music room. So this used to be... Oh, I get redraws? Music room is important because the higher up we draw it, the better the thing inside it is. So we'll just redraw. Another classroom, always good, but let's hallway for now. So ideally, we want to be classrooming more than the fourth numeral. And that's not going to help us because it closes off our path forward. We could redraw. That gets us nowhere. That gets us nowhere. I mean, look, that does get us nowhere and costs us, but on the plus side, we get another apple for being a good boy. We get some more clues about how the maths puzzles work in the dartboard room. Look at the colors. So the blue numbers are pluses, the yellows are, or the mustards are minuses, the pinks are... Hang on. Let me get to my big book, my big Google spreadsheet of... No, it's not a spreadsheet, it's just a document. Pinks is timeses, of course. So, Jex, why are we considering changing to... non-stream forms of revenue? Ouch, ouch, ouch. Chapel, it just costs us a gold every time we go through it, which is a bit of a pisser. You can't remember the last time I was asleep at 10. Dude, as a similar aged gentleman, I will tell you that I generally sleep less than 6 hours a night, which is not healthy. 10 more. But to kind of make up for it, I also nap like a bastard. Ooh, if you enter the antechamber, add 2 to your allowance. So I pimped the guest room, but I think at this early stage, we will keep rolling. I could use a shop. Storeroom is closed. We're cutting down a little bit. Let's take the classroom because we've got to get through them. And we have the... Oh, look at the little sheep. It's so cute. So this tells us, what's this puzzle? About the puzzle in the laboratory, I think, which tells us ultimately how to open the grotto. There we go. Oh, naps is the best, man. Don't be recent. I think embrace it to the maximum. Last year I was able to cover my cost of living with streaming, but this year things have changed and I'm not getting as much income as the previous year. Is that because, haven't your income, I mean your audience grown significantly. Starbucks. Open my own car detailing shop. I've heard this plan before, and I fully endorse. We can redraw, though what would be the perfect thing to withdraw to? Breakfast Nook gives us a key, which we don't have, but we're kind of running low on. Let's Nook. So we can take the key. Oop. What was this? Oh, yes. The magnifying glass. Very useful because we can look at things like this and then go, ooh, ooh, ooh. And it tells us, again, the billiard room puzzles have this kind of thing. Jex does, however, assert that she is invisible to social media. Has, but not a lot of people subscribe and give me tips. Oh, right. So people are stingy bastards and rely on anonymous subscription gifteds. Okay, and this tells us all about entrances to the antechamber. So this is where the magnifying glass comes in, epically important. And this gives us other steps. Oh, Jex, I'm sorry, we're so close. Again, we're going to burn one key. Cheap cunnies. Not gonna lie. Oh, okay, we're gonna have to take the courtyard, or we could redraw. What do we do? Take a hit to the money. We're only going to go through it twice, theoretically. Can you give like subs anonymously? How do you? Well, I'm thankful too. I promise one day I'll have a proper look through the emotes, because it's good fun. All right, we're going to burn our last gem. We burned the last gem in the hope that we could get this, which we could smash open with a hammer. I would love to have... Oh, okay, more dice, more cash beans. And because we got the coin purse, every 3 money we get an extra money. Okay, commissary. Well, I would prefer to straight through, but that's fine. The other thing is that Jex gets about 75 or so average viewers, and IMO she may struggle with it. It's become too close to 500. 6, do you mod for other people also, or are you a monogamous modderer? This is an okay spot for... I can't get it because I don't have any money. So do we redraw? I think maybe we do, honestly. Okay, when you gift a sub, there is an option to... Hey, look, it's the puppies, but we don't have a shovel yet. Okay, well, why would you want to remain... I mean, look, I'm not complaining, but... Hang on, let me rub the puppy. Rub the puppy. You stick your finger anywhere in a hole at a time. Well, that doesn't mean that you don't, like, have many holes. Ooh, gymnasium. Nice. This pertains to a special room down below, which I'm not sure of visisms yet. Now, we do want a path that gets us all the way through, but it shuts out. We redraw. 30 on average, nowhere close to 70. Okay, hallway doors are always unlocked. That's... Oh, no, that would be so sweet. Exactly 2 shops. We have none. Chapel. You bastard. But... Guys. Okay, I'm paying the dollar. The dollar. Hey, look. Okay, fine. We get our money back. For Oh, yes, this is what we wanted. We wanted... Oh, by the way, I think it's Christmas, so that's nice. This room only works if it's attached to a red room, so this is great. We get some sweet sneaks. A couple of keys and a gem. All right, that's a... Oh, no, it's a silver key. All right. Not bad. I mean, it's a fine addition. Monogamous. Let's see what I did there. We will need to get... I'm not happy with this arrangement, honestly. We need cash. We need cash. Let's dine. That will be 1, 2, 3. That'll be the 4th. But we'll need to take options first, and then we'll take... Oh, lunchbox. Nice. There's some extra steps for us. Lovely. You'll get to enjoy our... Hey, look, 2 more steps and you get to do your little celebration all over again. Okay, so carrying on this way. Another classroom, morning room. Tomorrow we start. Yes, this keeps us going. All good. That turns us the wrong way. So let's take the morning room. I'll have a nice morning. Ooh, the butt plug. Sorry, no, the rabbit's foot. Love it. If there's anything in here, I don't know it. November the 5th, the Baron of Mount Holly names nephew provisional heir. In the blue hours of Wednesday morning, the venerable Baron of Mount Holly, Herbert S. Sinclair, passed away at the ripe age of 73 after a prolonged struggle with heart condition that had been kept from the public eye until his final days. Esteemed as a pillar of society and renowned for his penchant for crafting puzzles, he was a source of endless fascination to our readers over the years, not least through his popular column Baron Bafflers. Oh, Jesus. Which he penned for over a decade. The particulars of this announcement of his successor yesterday was left his devoted followers with one last intrigue to ponder. The reading of his will precipitated a flurry of speculation, for his niece and presumptive heir, the much-loved and lamented Mary Matthew Jones, had been missing, presumed deceased for the past 6 years. Mrs. Jones, better known to our readers by her pen name Marion Marigold, enchanted the hearts and minds of children across the realm with her literary creations such as The Red Prince and Swimbird and A New Clue. Her disappearance remained one of the age's most tragic mysteries. Sorry, butt plug. Oh, no, I absolutely denied it. Oops, sorry. Oh, man, can I undeny that? I cannot. I'm embarrassed for myself. Please type it again. My eager fingers went to the wrong hole. Sorry, I've done myself a mischief. I did, but everybody else did not, and it won't be recorded in the annals of time. And if there's one place that a reference to that should be recorded, it's in the annals of time. Okay, fair enough. I'm sure Six can remember what it is if he's not driving to work. With her whereabouts unknown, it was Marigold's own son, Simon P. Jones, a lad of but 14 summers who was yesterday named the provisional heir to the sprawling Cinca Empire. However, this vast inheritance is accompanied by an undisclosed contractual condition called Brewster's Millions. Given the Baron's well-known penchant for tests of mettle and wit, it is clear that the young heir from Reddington, distinguished in his own right as last year's County Science Fair runner-up, faces an extraordinary challenge in the coming weeks. Well, I can hardly wait. Yes, okay. Well, we will just have to hope that 6 is driving safely. So, what do we want for here? Hang on, back to our normal haunt. Man, I would just love a security room, you know, so that I could lock everything with the... I don't really want a room of many doors. Not here, anyway. Let's burn it here instead. Okay, in the grand scheme, dark room, okay, whatever, but I think drawing room is the go, honestly, although it sort of momentarily costs us. So, we're at the treasure map. We don't have a bloomin' spade. Yes, okay, now to find something to dig with. All right. Okay, yes, thank you. If we look at the stern portrait here, you will notice that the candlestick over the gentleman's right shoulder, or our left shoulder, as it were, is cocked at an angle, and this one is not, so we also cock it, revealing this. And if you uncover the letters that we were talking about earlier, it says something about actually I used to be in my big sheet O thingies, but I think I deleted it because more pressing matters came to pass. But it's about count the small gates and dates. So what we do here is count the long striding pictures with the small striding maidens, and it comes to, there's like 4 short striding maidens and 15 long striding lads. And it gets us another gem. Jex, I would love to see what your ideal car detailing job entails. Does this have sort of Walter White connotations? Are we thinking that we would kind of clean cars, as it were? April 15th. Dear Mary, I know the events of the past year have been catapulted you into a world you may not have been ready for. It's cruel the way time rips through our lives, leaving them barren and fruitless like wind-scarred plains. Throughout this all, I know your principal concern has always been Simon. You didn't need to confide in me yesterday for me to realize that fact. Everyone knows you understands this. Everyone who knows you understands this. I will take full responsibility to ensure that regardless of how your current project pans out, Simon is shielded from any fallout and, God forbid, repercussions. A child should never suffer the iniquity of their parents. I, of course, write you all this in the hope that I can set your mind at peace when imagining the worst-case scenarios, not because I think such an outcome is likely. No, Mary, I have few apprehensions and fewer fears. Assuming everything goes according to plan, you should be reunited with Simon again before his 10th birthday. And while 2 years might seem like an eternity to a mother, I always heard the days pass by more quickly in the East. As for me and you, I have already come to terms with that our meeting yesterday was very likely our last. I am too old and too stubborn to ever leave this place. I am too addicted to the home our family has built up. room by room. Yes, I have a strong premonition I will be buried in red soil under red flags. A compromise I know you yourself would never accept. Because she's from Blue, isn't she? It's been a joy watching you grow up and getting to know you. Your mother and I spoke of little else during your school days. I know she'd feel the same bittersweet pride I feel now. To see you following your father's footsteps and making the same sacrifices he did. Farewell, my marigold, which is a yellow flower. May we yet meet again, your Uncle Herbert. Okay. All right, then. Thank you, Unc. The other advantage of this, of course, is that we can try to draw a shop or something that we can buy a shovel from. Peso. We do need the gift shop, but we do also need more classrooms. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4. That would get us to our... but it would close us off. Spread gymnasiums in all. Ooh, you want patio. Actually, number 4 of this, I think, is quite useful. Seeing a lot of new rooms. I think this is also on Game Pass, if you wanted to give it a go. I mean, it's not for everybody, I accept that, but it is a very fun game if you're me and you like reading silly, long, waffly letters in plummy English accents. Oh, sorry, I missed the... I missed the sacred observance, and for that I am terribly sorry. Oops. I'm just wasting steps. This is not good. Sorry, treasure map. I really need a shop. Office is also very... I like to see you struggle through the puzzles. Well, each to their own kink, I suppose. Office will get us money... Guest room gets us more money next time. We could redraw and see if we can get a freaking shop. I want the shop. Give me the shop. Oh, actually, that would do nicely. Also, I know it's a bit vanilla, but we're going to go hallway. Come, give me the shop. Oh, I've got no... So that got us to rank 7, which is not enough to trigger the dining room. We could go back to the other hallway. It's not good. It's not good. Through the nook. We took the bacon. Yes, we did. And the eggies. Right. Please don't require a key. Gift shop, not what I wanted, but keys. Okay, if this is... No, not. Thank you very much. So this is where we finished yesterday, which gave us the key card, which has subsequently proved to be completely useless. We do need the gift shop. And it's free at the moment. We have to buy this, and we are uncashed to do so at the moment. I have a terrible feeling it's going to be locked. It's not. We can redraw. Drafting Studio does have... Hang on, how many gems? 2. Okay. Because the actual shop would be really, really helpful. What's the drafting studio give us in terms of... The studio doesn't have... I'm thinking of the study, wasn't I? That was dumb. Well, the storeroom would also give us a key, which would get us out the other hallway, but it's not enough. I think we possibly redraw, although the drafting studio would be really helpful. Did I really not put the drafting studio in? Oh, it has a pawn. Okay, it's not what we want. It's not what we want. Neither is the classroom, honestly, but we will take it. Okay, this is useful because we can take this. I know it's not very exciting. These are to help us with the other big geography. Okay, can you solve this? Jex, here's a puzzle for you. Coast and coat. What's the difference? I like this tune. So we want to look at the look. Okay, and then we can get our magnifying glass out, and I'm in the way, of course. Now what? Tor and rot. I don't understand. Oh, it tells us the order of... Sorry, I have to do this periodically. The order of the realms. So does that. And this is from the north, but it doesn't show us the shapes. But it does give us a clue as to the order. Oh man, there's so much in these little drawings. Okay, all right. These maps must have taken age balls to make, but I'm sure they were wicked fun. The devoted moon. So there's also the third era, and the names of the places changed in the interim. Isle of Worries, I'm not sure what that's about. But oh, there's the god of the sweeps. And I think, is there a... What are they all queuing up for? To say hello to the king? The crown? Yes, they are devoted. Ah, see, look, there's a symbol of Arindia. The outer circle. Oh, God. I wanted to see what that said. I can't make it out. But that guy looks like J.D. Vance. Look at all this science going on over here. Okay, there's a lot. And I wanted to come here with a magnifying glass for a long time, so that's... Oh, hang on, the cat wants to come in. One moment, please. Sorry, I could have left you with much more thrilling things to look at while I let the cat in. So if I don't let the cat in, she just jumps around, twanging the door, which, you know, is very cute, but it's also wicked annoying. So I had here's my grand computation. I will show you this just because it's actually quite fun if you're a kind of weird pervert like I am. There's this, and then there's this, and then edit in Paint. And do I still have Paint as an option in here? I do. Whoop. There you go. This was my computation as to which continent is where. And I think it's right. I'm pretty sure it's right because I've solved things later in the game. There you go. What a brainy boy. Let's not be locked, please. Thank you. Oh, we do need the vault. We do so very need the vault, but it's... How much do we need? We need 110 of money, don't we? How much for the gift shop thing? I think it was 110. For the plushie, and this would get us to 83. It's not good enough yet. I'm going to have to throw in a hallway or a redraw. I mean, a hallway would be great, but some keys would be Terry Mendoza, by which I mean tremendous. Oh, fuck. Okay, well, that's run ending then, I think. Okay, so with that in mind, what do we have? We don't have an office, so we can't do the chess thing. Blessings of the Gardener. 1, 2, 3, 4 classrooms again. That's so disappointing. Did we go into the study? I think we did, didn't we? Yeah. Well, hall pass. I didn't notice that. Hall pass is lovely. Not lose steps when travelling between hallways, and doesn't cost an extra thing to move between. Would have been so much better if it was a key. Again, I'm back to our key. They're going to be still locked. Did we? Oh, we triggered the schoolhouse outside, didn't we? So much for the lucky foot. Lucky Rabbit's butt plug. I'm so disappointed. It was 110 that we needed. Okay, fair enough. So, with that in mind, do we have to... Where was the... Was it the Nook that we have to end the day in order to get... No, it's not, because that's eggs and bakey, isn't it? Yes. So I've lost the key as well. No digging. Souvenirs. Blah, blah, blah. We couldn't get up to there. That's all a massive piss out. Now, okay, so we have one last shot. It's to get to this courtyard back down here that we didn't get to before, and hope that it had a thing in it that we... I'm going the wrong way. That we didn't bust open with our busty open thing. Man, you're cruel. Cruel. So many options for classrooms. God damn it. And was there nothing on the desks? There was nothing on the desks. Okay. All right. Fair enough. You don't have anything at all I can open. Oh, ooh, ooh, cool. You've watched Red Wedding now? Question mark. Beans. Okay. Well, I am pissed off. We can go for a little walk. Because we didn't even... Sorry. Oop. We can toss a coin. Okay, so we also bash through this, which requires sledgehammering and other... Oh, the end of Joffrey, the sweet, sweet blackbird pie. What a time to be alive. You'll have to see it. I don't mean to gloat, but that guy, I mean, he was extremely good at making a character that was extremely unlikable. Didn't he, IRL, never act again and left acting to become, to go to seminary, by which I mean, of course, priest school, thank you. Now then, this requires admin passwords, which are numerous. And where are they? I have them in my notes. Do I have them in my notes? I might have. He's left acting. He said too many people view him as that character. I'm not surprised. But, of course, there could be instances where that's an advantage. I don't think that's why. I think it was always his original plan to... 8 dates crack 8 safes is what the word thing says. That's right. I don't have it in there. I suspected that this is a disappointing end for hang on a second, where are we? Yeah, Joffrey, I mean, what an introduction to acting, right? It's insane, but amazing too. Looking through all my notes, there are, of course, lots of notes. I think my blueprints Google Photos folder, which is where I keep all my screenshots, has 400 and something screenshots in it, which I know sounds like a lot, but hear me out. So Cat is happy, just checking. Nope. This one. Oh, yes. J-Rib. We wanted... So these are the guys that put in the... put in the pump system. L1, sorry. Whoop. Is it like this? I can't remember. It's been a while. Maybe it's Rib J. On my way to becoming a professional photographer? No. I mean, I know the key to professional photography is taking an absolute shite ton of photographs, but I don't think screenshots of video games count in that regard. I may be wrong. Boing, there we go. The last cables have finally been laid. And then that's actually ages ago. Oh, you can read that. And I also asked the Baron to come up with a name for the network. Blackridge. Regular maintenance. I think I've already read all this. So yeah, Jean Ribbon. Jean Ribbon. Also Paul Withers, which will be with P. Could have gone with that one. Wiping these logs. Got to wipe the log. Instead of simply deleting the log, would it be possible to instead replace them with manufactured messages? Does that mean these are all fake? One wonders. Bitrate, what's going on? I'm changing ISP at the start of next month. Isn't that exciting? Admin control. More R, I think, is about to delete his... welcome to the team. Thonk? Hang on a second. Who was Thonk? No? Okay. Oh, Tom K. All right. New admin has been added to the network. Excuse me. User database. This tells you who everybody is. +3 additional delisted apps. So if you're looking, this is going to like spoil everything for you. Electronic mail settings. I think I switched everything off before. Check connection. Operational, inbound, outbound, blah, 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 blah. Okay, back. I think that's pretty much all that we can do. That's trophy data. So that's, you can use that function. There's no sound at all. Come on, come on. Very, very silent footsteps. Okay, there we go. And we're back in the room. I don't think there's anything we can do up here, but it's just worth having a look. So you can open up this, which is the gemstone cavern, which tells you about this. I don't think there's anything like hidden on it. But if there is, be my guest. I don't know what you can do in here. Well, obviously you can open that, which is one of the many power doodads for the lift thing that we walked past earlier on. This is the orchard. It's all very lovely, and it does actually also power the... I want, if we take these out, does it... No, we don't want to insert. We want to take it. Take it. If we take all three... Come on. Does it shut the thing down? Because... I'm still not sure of the significance of these things. I will find it one day, I'm sure. No, okay, the satellite dish remains. Okay. And down here is the special Julio that is hinted at in the... what? I can't remember anymore. It's been so long. And there is the plushie and the copy of the books that we've won. Between the trees, I can't remember what it means. What I'm doing is I wanted to put the microchips back in here. So we could reopen this. Oh, so inserty. Whoop. We had a cutscene. Oof. We can show you up here because we've been up here. Finding the 3 microchips is hard, but what I did is put one in the coat hanger, coat check thing. This contains the blueprint for the throne room. And look, there's Reddington over there in the distance. We have spawned the throne room. It gave us a sanctum key, which sounds a lot more fun than it actually is. So, Jex, if you ever play this, you will have all this royally spoiled for yourself now. Back through here, you may notice periodically that passing through areas makes the little sneakers appear in the top. That means that the running shoes have protected me from losing a step. There they go. Look, there they go again. This is the clue that tells us that the room that we went into last, you went to see the secrets. Good. This is very good. You have to wear a cloak, though, unfortunately, in order to really, really, truly see the secrets. This is very, very important information. It tells you which rooms you can open the antechamber from. I haven't figured out what this is for yet. But these sneaky people at 100 Bells, Sandy Heights at 5 p.m., you know they're up to no good. I would really like to draw the tomb again. Anyway, we don't need to open up anything because we are basically forked at this point. And we didn't do the room that requires that we... Okay, we just call it a bloomin' day. Day 50. You were a disappointment to us all. Jex, are you still oblivioning? Oh, I'm so disappointed, but I'm still going to screenshot you. Onwards. No worries. The music is surprisingly martial at this stage. Okay, 51. Maybe complaining about the fact that I didn't get... I see the ads. I see them. Okay, there's the cash. We will... Oh, I can't. For Jake's sake, I can't take a step out of this room. Don Chappelle. Let's do that one, and then we can be a little bit more blasé. This here keeps records of the trophies that we've earned, and I have earned hardly any, but you can't earn any for quite a long time, so it's not actually that bad. Let's do the puppies and hope that we get a Chevelle. And look, Volt, I love you, but so yeah, are you still oblivioning? I know that's not a word, but are you? Is that what you're still doing? Or did you go back for? I know you've got a massive kink for. Look, there you go, 69. Enjoy it. Let's enjoy it with some symmetry, and we'll toss a coin into the... Ding. Nice. A wet 69 is always so much better. I thought you said that was too hard. I don't mean to impugn your skills. But yeah, Clair Obscur, I've heard good things. Again. Dig spots. Gems for steps. Shrine. I can't remember if we've got still shrine offerings going. They do want Clair Obscur. It's true. Well, it's very good of you that you're so willing to yield to the will of the masses. The will, the indomitable will. Okay, so I have here a little list of the things that we've gleaned. Greater chance of getting coins. No, that's not what we want. It's a big long table of what you get for the money. A crap ton of courtyards, but courtyards costs us gymnasiums. Gives us dice when we roll a shop. Rotate floor plans. Could be crucial. Let's put in... I don't want to spend a gem for doing that, though. Ivory dice when you've done 10 gold when you re-roll using those dice. So we could put this in for 19 days. It's a big spend. High roller. Every time we roll a shop, we'll get a dice, and we'll get 5 coins every time we use one of those dice. Okay, so we need to use at least 4 of those dice to make any cash. So with Clair Obscur, is it blowing you away visually? And are you swept up by the narrative? And are you finding the Frenchness of it familiar? Reassuring? Nothing. God damn it. Oh, no, not nothing. Dice. Nice. Commissary. Hey, look, I mean, do I want to block off this entire side of the house? No, I do not. We could redraw. It's a bit early for that kind of carry on, surely. Reminds me, yeah, I kind of got that Final Fantasy vibe. Also, too early for that. I want shops. Give me a shops. Why are we not taking music room? Well, because the key that you get is better when it's a higher rank. So I think we'll do the nursery. Yep. Soundtrack is awesome. Graphics aren't too bad. Story seems unique. Are you playing on a Series X or a Series S? I think you're XE, aren't you? Ugh. Okay, we get that back. That's fine. Whatevskis. All right. I'm feeling a little bit naked, not gonna lie. Pool room. That's nice. This gives us rooms that we want. There's our trunks. Hello, trunks. This is not the quest for money that we'd hoped for. Vault, love you, auto mod. Hang on a second. Sorry. Blowing you. Far out. What a prude. Hang on a second. Can I change auto mod settings mid-flight? I'm going to re-roll here because workshop. Thank you. Much better. Stick. Lovely. Series X. I thought so. Do you have a fancy controller? Decent place for a laboratoire, I suppose, but realistically, you want the dead end. Because money, because key, and because gem. Okay. Okay, so is it one of these? What's this called? Elite? Pompous? Or is it fancy colors? Okay, if we empty the pool... Ooh, ballroom, but no, because ballroom sets us back. We will take the cash at this point and the... Ooh, banana, very nice. Pump, baby. I think we do take the pump. If we can't empty the pool because we don't have anything to break those things. Really? No way I'm taking the maid's chamber. I've got no stuff in it. We'll take this. Oh, look. Hello. Come on. Give me the shovel. Jesus. Okay, this is game changing because I want... that's the doggies opening the doors. This also allows us to empty the aquarium in the pump room to... you're the wrong way around. East wing. That's fine. Yeah, the doggies. Did I draw the kennel? I did draw the kennel. The kennel was like the second one. Okay, so any room in which we... we dig, we unlock the doors. Boiler room! Hang on. I need to look up to see if the aquarium has a joiner between the pump room and... I just assume that it does. And it freaking doesn't. Well, hang on. Let's see. Maybe it will. Okay, this is mega. This is meg. No, we want this way. Because if I can open this up... Whoop, activate, thank you. Then I can finally... Oh, it sounds so impressive, doesn't it? Let's see if we can unlock it. Ooh. I will take a den at this stage. Den is good. Although something with a key would be more helpful. Aura Wilming, good morning, how are you? Do I want the dark room? It is very not morning here, as you can probably tell. It is 9:18 in the PM in Sydney, Australia. Do we vault? Is it too early for vault? I kind of think that it is. I feel it's a bit cowardly to haul away, but I'm happy to haul away. Now, the most important thing here is, do we get power through to the... We don't! I wanted power through this thing. Now, Oh, beans. No, maybe if I can get 718 in Aruba. I have not been to Aruba, but I'm jealous. Are we drinking coffee? I'm assuming that you are in Aruba. You may, of course, not be, and you're just telling me that it is, in fact, 7 a.m. in Aruba. Blessings of the High Roller. I haven't rolled any shops yet. I feel like this is a potential waste of... Oh, man, the boiler and the pump. That would have been so sweet. 1819 in Indonesian. Cool. Do we then wish to... We might as well empty the aquarium while we're at it. Oop. Get emptied. 1820, I do appreciate the accuracy, Mr. 81. Nothing if not precise. Okay, let's switch this around. No, it doesn't like it. Okay. So the aquarium needs more than that. Kitchen, will you play? Don't be too jealous, it's getting way too hot. I'm still having hot coffee though. I think, look, if your hot coffee is fine on a hot day, a hot Aruba day. Do people say Aruba Matata, or is that considered like really bad form? You won't empty out into that? Come on, guy. Where's my aquarium again? It's here. Look, it's half. No. I want you to empty out in... Okay. Fair enough. So does that mean that I'm going to have to... Why can't I empty that into the kitchen? That's my... I'll put you back into the aquarium. And I want to make sure that... Okay, so... Aura Wilming, is there a date or temperature in Aruba beyond which your morning coffees become iced? That's the question. So... You will not empty into that one. I was so hoping that they would be near enough. And it doesn't. Oh, God. Okay. Another plan. There will be another plan. Okay, let's switch this back into this. All right, we'll have to take it out of something else that is not the kitchen. What about the fountain? Change the name of all island in the Beach Boys song to Aruba if we're playing it in bars. That's fair enough. I would probably do the same. June. Okay, so you're kind of like almost on the cusp of icidness. That's exciting. Is this actually what I want? Yes, it is. Okay, kitchen fills... So, fountain fills that up. Boop. Lock you down. I also have to ask, do people say Aruba Matata? Is that a thing? That can't be a thing. Now, we empty aquarium into this... Yeah, baby. And then... Is that a thing? Can we do that? Can I empty this into the... fountain? That's what we want. Switch and dump. And hang on. Do I want to empty into the fountain? I do, I think. Do I? Yeah, because aquarium isn't empty. Oh, it doesn't go. What about you? Aha! Success. Beautiful. And then... No, and then... aquarium, get into my car. All right. It's a small thing, but now that it's empty, we can look and go, oh, look, there's an X by that thing. Still get your 10 steps within the fish because I feel like you shouldn't. No, but we get to see the fact there's an X there and there's not anything discernible there, but there is the X by the washing machines, which I haven't dug up yet. And there's the reminder that if you have the file cabinet key, that you can open that in the archive. And then over here, I think also nothing, if I'm very not much mistaken. If there is a thing, hang on a second. I will examine that later on, but I don't think there's anything in there. I think that's a sort of essential a dud. Are you a dedicated blueprintist? Is that a thing? Can I say that? Okay, I was so hoping that the two could join, but the two cannot join. The two cannot be one. All right, let's hallway for a second. Okay, this is not fantastic. But no, we do need the key, but we also need the progress, so that's not going to do, and I certainly don't want to lose half my steps. Could re-roll. I do think, yeah, you should still get the 10 steps for the aquarium if it's triggering for bedroom, but it's not. Last time I was here, I had the dowsing rod, and it would tell me which room had stuff in it, which was very fun. I was hoping. See, okay, we've got the 5 there. Fell down a rabbit hole a bit. Usually sim type gamer. That's fine. Well, look, this is not like a lot of other games. Yeah. Okay, so this is now a dead end for me. And this way. Oh no! Let's den. We can den. I mean, it is an extremely deep rabbit hole, both literally and figuratively. Ooh, laundry room. We could buy some keys. Good point, self. We can also check the dig spot. Come on. Yes. Really? It's just the file cabinet key? Come on, dude. I was wanting something more than that. I was also wanting some clothing in here, but no. Okay, so this is what we do in the laundry. We can pay to change. Oop. Oh, no. No. Balls, that's really not what I wanted to do. 5. I don't have 5 anymore to change my keys to far out. 10 keys to change money. 5 to change. I don't have the cash. What an awful click waste. Yeah, all right. Fair enough. So I am now frantically hoping that maybe the north door of the east wing gets me key. Sorry, this is a little bit inside baseball. Oh, I did do that one. Okay. All right. Well, at least we have some steps to play with. Also, all right, we haven't actually explored down the other side yet. We do have a workshop. What can we make anything fun? Not really. Not yet. Okay. Is this where I want to go? It is. I'm so disappointed. Oh, I don't have a means of... Oh, what a waste of steps. I could have emptied the pool and got myself... Let's go through the bedroom, obviously, to get the steps. Yes, gone through the... If I empty the pool room, there's 2 trunks in there, but I don't have the means of breaking them open just yet. So there's that. Okay, back to the puppies. Let's try this one first. Okay, that works a little bit. That really doesn't. New floor plan to add. Well, look, I've got 20 for Duke and... I would prefer something that turns. Let's put the chapel in. And because we've got... Oh. Hey, puppy! Yes, woof woof indeed. Ican has key. Nope. All right. Okay, he wants more pats. And he wants pats too. Good boys. Please give me... Oh, office is good. Yes, give us money. If you enter the antechamber, add 2 to the allowance. No. Okay. Office has this little clue in it, which opens the secret thing. And this says March of the Count. And we all know that March is the 3rd month. Do I want to spread the money? I probably do, actually. Spread the gold. And the Count is not him. So he is, there's another one. And another one. So there's 3. And we go, okay, so March is the 3rd. And the number of counts in here is 3. And we are in... sorry, Aura, this is going to spoil the game for you entirely. Dear Mrs. Sinclair, thank you for promptly answering all our demands, not involving the police, and allowing this unfortunate transaction to transpire as smoothly as one could hope. And while I'm guessing you had hoped to never hear from us again once we had given back the envelopes, we felt that one final red letter of our own was merited given the circumstances. Hopefully you will not be as careless with this missive as you were with the others. Correspondence this incriminating should be kept in safes, not desk drawers. Was there ever one in a desk drawer? I don't think I found one. Let's first put your apprehension aside. As I'm sure another red envelope is the last thing you expected to find on your desk this week, no, we are not making more demands, and no, we do not have copies of the other letters. You were already more than generous and accommodating, and the least we can do is fulfill our end of the bargain. So, why write to you at all? Why incriminate ourselves further if we already have what we want? In a word, principles. After reading your eloquent reply to our initial note, it became apparent to us that there had been a few misunderstandings. This letter is intended to clarify some of those points and hopefully will place our schemes in a softer light. Firstly, we may have gotten too excited with the colourful language of blackmail, but our goal was never to terrorise. Despite, okay, no worries. What day are you on, by the way? Rips, my dude, how are you? Happy Monday morning to you, Rips, my friend. Despite what you may believe you interpreted as thinly veiled threats towards your young nephew, I want to personally assure you there was never any tangible danger. If we gave any impression that we would hurt the youngster, it was meant only in the vague sense of hurting his social prospects. And while we admit that our word choice might be questionable, enough so that it would be reasonable to accuse us of intentionally misleading, we hope you believe us when we tell you that this was not a calculated ploy to elicit payment. However, as payment has been received, there is nothing to be gained by scrutinizing the questionable ethics that were employed in our extortion of those funds. Little defense can be mustered on that score. Additionally, any judgmental tone you may have detected when we discussed the content of your stolen letters was entirely unintended. We want it on record that we do not consider ourselves superior to you and your family in any way, and are in fact entirely sympathetic to the underlying cause that the letters pertain to, and you thought this letter couldn't get any more incriminating for us. Again, we feel guilty as sin, and only time will tell if the financial recompense will outweigh our culpability. Even though you will never hear from us again, we hope this parting letter will result in you thinking of us and our dealings, if not favourably, at least sympathetically. Sorry for the inconvenience. Forever Anonymous, X. 28, but we don't talk about the first 10 or so. Fair enough. Well, look, I mean, the whole idea of roguelikes is to make hideous mistakes early on, right? That's kind of built into the system. Okay, Office, no worries. Ads. Oh, quick ads, nice. Rips, what are you playing at the moment? We could sauna, we could patio, that's not really going to help us much. We need the key, really. We have pimped this room to give us a key plus bacon and eggs, which also adds the morning room to our roster. Do I have magnifying glass? I do not. Why are these things red? Well, it's because not been streaming or playing anything for a while. You've been mad into the bikes. Yes, I've seen you've been doing summer stuff. Summer bike things. Come on, hallway commissary. Yes, good, but we would love to see. Come on, give us some money. Give us some money. We need the money. Tarkov, good. Glad to see some things never change. Have you been on a tour with the GF? That's fantastic. Don't have one of those. Where did you go? Did you go across borders? I was going to say overseas, but that doesn't really... sleeping mask would be good. Sledgehammer would be good. Bike is currently at shop fitting new side cases. Nice. Are they capacious? We'll take the magnifying glass. Feck. Really? I haven't seen a security room for ages. Feck. Does that mean that we're done? No, we have one key. Okay. Far out. Okay, back through new bike rides. Cool. Will they allow you to travel far and wide? I do actually have to say, I like the look of the particularly sticky outy ones that sort of protect the bike if you tip it. Not that I would ever consider. I actually tipped an old bike that I had. Not big enough for her. Your secret is safe with me. Oh, there's the money. I forgot we distributed the cash. Okay, what are we using our one singular valuable? You have roll bars. Good for you. It seems a bit daft to put it in there. Oh, we got did we get key or money for? Hang on, was it 5? Let's go and have a look in the boiler room, the laundry. Oh, okay, money. Need to upgrade lights. Oh, that's you sounding like Days Gone Remaster boy. That was one of the better motorcycle games, actually. Okay, so let's see if I can do the laundry without stuffing it up. I think spin cycle, exchange, nope. 5 to change keys with money. No, I want 18 with cash at a 1-to-1 rate. Is that what I want? And then give me keys. What give me keys? All of my this with that. Does it swap them back? Ooh, interesting. Can we stop? I don't want to lose all of them. Okay. All right. Stream still in a renovating apartment, so did not have time to play it in stream. I am... Okay, I've got all the keys in the world now. None of the money. Too heavy when I sit in the main beam, shoot so high and bind all the cars. Oh, that sort of thing. I understand. Okay, security. Yes, we need this. With our last... Oh, man, I forgot. Do we have the key card? We don't have the key card. Why did I think we had the key card? We don't need the key card, but what we do need is... well, key card would actually be great. This one. Hey, look, if you shoot so high, no one can be blamed but yourself. Hang on a second, I just have to let the cat out of the room. We'll consider that in a second. Hang on. Sorry, I didn't actually mean like let the cat out in terms of being a euphemism. I was literally letting the cat out of the room, and then I took advantage of the moment to take a quick leak. I would like more steps. Yes, let's take it. Need to adjust the beam down a bit and add side lights. One thing actually that's always annoyed me about my beamer is that it's got that classic beamer one-sidey thing, like one light doesn't switch on. Went well for the first drive, 220 kilometers in one day, which is too much for a bit for me. Not driven a bit, so you had like saddle bum. Oh, did we do have a, okay, this gives us an extra 10 if we have an aquarium, so let's, nice. We certainly do have an aquarium. Okay, 73. Let's keep going north. So many keys. This is ridiculous. Music room is great. Should give us actually a cool, a good key that we could possibly use to open the antechamber. But that's not really going to help us because we need money, 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 money. Either way, let's do it. So yeah, the sort of one side on, one side off feature of the BMW motorcycle is something that surprised me, and I don't really understand why they do it. Okay, there's the normal key. Oh, it's just a prism key. Okay, what this does is that if you open a door from one room type, you'll get the same in the next room. Which will make that one blue, that one purple, and that would make another shop. Ooh, rumpus. I don't have any. Ooh. That could block the door. But give us 3 more gems if we were smart enough to answer the question. Ooh. One is for low beam when you have both. They're both high beams. Yes, so I also have the little venom fang daylight thingies on the side as well. Yeah. I mean, people look and they go like, you see them double taking as you're crossing the road in front of you, which is, you know, you like it. It's nice. I think I should have this music under my voice all of the time. We need a few gems, but this, no, we don't need the steps. But with +2 allowance is good. I got it. I got it. It's, I understand. Okay, Rips, I'm going to need your brain help here. The gems are in the black box. So the situation here is that a maximum of 2 of these can be right, a maximum of 2 of them can be wrong. The gems are not always in a right one, but we only get one shot at opening them. The statements in the other 2 boxes are true. This could be true, this could be false. The gems are not in this box. Yeah, this is the new house. This is the office here. It's got a daybed in it. The cat likes to sit in. It's actually pretty cool. I'm quite happy in this house. It's pretty cool. Gems in the black box. Gems are not in this box. Those 2 could both be true. And this one, false. If this one is true, that can't be the right though, because we can't have 3 being true. The black box has to be false. Yeah. Which means that if this one is true, thank you, Aura, the gems are in the black box. And the stakes are high because this gives us 3 gems. In the normal... Okay, well, that showed us. Oh, now I feel like a doofus. I am a doofus. It's the truth. Through the hallway. There does have to be a false statement, and we assumed that it was this one because the other two can't be. Well, two can be false. So this one was obviously false, as was this one. What did this one say? The other two statements are false. Oh, sorry, the other two statements, that was false. No, that was true. This one false. This one false. So the gems were in this one. Got it. All right, well, we'll know for next time, and I remain gemless. Woe is me. Through the den, down to the boiler room. Keys for days. Let's open this. What special key? No. Okay, so if we use the special key here, we would just recreate another hallway, or another hallway type room. So we can just use this. That's fine. Thank you very much, mate. Good to see you, as ever. Thanks for stopping by. Lovely to hear your handsome face again. We will take the drawing room. We cannot take the drawing room. Beans. We can take this. It gives us 2, but we can't use the door. So closed exhibit. Now what this does is that it puts the doors in the configuration as seen, but we need an open doorway at the top side in order to run around and steal a thing, which we don't have. So antechamber, add 2 to the allowance. I'm not feeling like that's particularly helpful. I will redraw here, actually, because we need to get... Nope. Code check. There's nothing in the code check? Okay, well, we'll just keep rolling on then, because we have the steps and we have the keys. That's going to be blank. And onwards. Also, Rips, if you're still watching, say hello to your fine lady from me. No, I'm going to have to redraw. Fire out. This gemlessness is boiling my beans. We're not completely... Okay, we'll take the storeroom. That feels like a waste. A waste. For 1 key. We get the 2 gems, I suppose. We can have a look at the bluebird. Hello, bluebird. That makes the other 2 boxes false. That's right. I mean, it means that the gem box was the white box. But you live and learn. Let's try. The white box said they were not in it, but that was false. That's right. What's the special key? Do we want another purple room? No, I think not. Oh, beans. Okay, so these are all functional dead ends. The vault would be fantastic, but we don't have an additional key, so we'll redraw. Has to be drawing room, I suppose. I don't like it, but that's how it's going to be. Do you know about the drawing room? We'll just march up. Tweak the little twangler. Okay, it's water time. Okay. want your gems. Or your gem singular. I won't read this again. I read it before. Is there any money? No. Do I want to proc another blue room? I don't think like just randomly, so let's just use one of the 15 keys. Ooh, that's fun. That's useful. We do have the option of redrawing, though. I'll take the conference room. Just what the conference room does is it draws any spread stuff, but it's also got 3 doors, so we're taking it. Breaker box. Boudoir going the wrong way. Spend a gem. That's going to make that pretty hard. Okay, then we'll take the observatory. We've got a lot of points in the observatory at the moment, so we should be okay. Okay, we'll take the extra gem, we'll take the apples are delicious, and we'll take the... What are you saying that you were? I think you are Draxus the Dread, which means dead ends are more common. We consult the... Yeah, it doesn't look like the Dimundus Major. Could be... Is that the 20? Do I have to count the difference between 12 and 20? Green rooms are more likely to contain special flowers. That's not 12, is it? No, okay. All right. But we don't, do we have green rooms? I don't think we have that many, actually. No, we have none. Far out. We have a knight. Treasure trove. Very useful. Mailroom ends us. Treasure trove actually goes in the right direction and gives us the money, but we don't have enough to make a difference yet. But we can, keep working it. It's fine. Ooh, and this as well. The true treasures of the trove is not in the house. Okay, good to know. Spine and pine and black knight. I presume we put that in there. We'll just check. Hang on a second. Yes, it's in the list. Okay, let's keep going. Do we want to proc another black room? In which case, I don't actually think that we have... it's going to be a clock tower or a... No, those are not. Gold, blue... Studio editions... Oh, it could be throne. That would be interesting if we had the... I think we just do a normal key. Boudoir. We can use that this time. That's nice, nice, nice. Actually, we could be close to getting... Do we have the office? No, not yet. Do we not? No. 8 times. I think we boudoir. I was in here on 2 days ago, and it was in-game Christmas Eve, and there was loads of stuff. It was so lovely. Oh, sorry, I should... Nope. 1, 2, 2, 5. Puzzle fans, this is a reference to... I will show you this postcard, which clearly shows that it is Christmas in here, and that means that we use Christmas as a date on the safe combination being the 25th of December. We'll read through this number 4 as well. Herbert, I was distraught to learn that you have chosen to omit the details of our dear Marion's disappearance from the public record. It is no surprise to me that the royal court would want this embarrassment kept as quiet as possible, but I am shocked that you have so little regard for your niece that you would play the king's scullion and stoop to kissing the foot that treads upon her memory. She gave up her family, her fortune, and her life, and all you can do is think of your name. Having never had a family, name, or fortune of my own, I cannot personally condemn you for faltering in your commitment to make the same sacrifices she did, but for the love of God, do not, by that same display of weakness, clutch your petty assets so tightly that you undermine the cause that she forfeited everything to further. Our countrymen must be made aware of the price she paid, and must be made to see the colour of the flag she flew as she rode into that darkness of that 100 nights. To deny her story is to deny her life. If through your silence you bless this betrayal, our son Simon, your heir, will inherit a fortune of lies, and will spit upon your grave when he learns of your cursed foolishness. Needless to say, we will not be coming to Christmas this year. Daniel. Brutal. Okay, Daniel's clearly a little bit sour. We are burning through these keys. Do we want another bedroom? I don't think so. Not yet. Not so desperately that we would... Ooh. Gymnase. Lose 2. It's actually quite helpful, and I'm happy to take the hit to the steps at this point. Particularly if you've got something useful in here, but you do not, ye bass. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Sometimes there's stuff on the bench here. Every step is a... God damn. Okay, we can't re-roll. We don't need keys. We can start with an extra 20, but honestly, I think the library is more important. And we get a little Jemmy, because we get to read The Curse of Black Ridge. A sauna. Oh, hi. I didn't realize you were still there. Been quiet as a mouse. Okay, I'm going to have to keep doing this. Forward. Come on, get out of the way. The legend of Black Ridge is one that's well known to the people of Grand Realm. For versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colourful, more verbose, and, as one might expect, increasingly horrifying, just lurking, maybe even napping if I get lucky. It's your right to do so. It's a Monday morning. Nap away. But didn't you only recently wake up? Excuse me. However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I have heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet, the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could be never a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of Black Ridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic, the story my grandmother told me as a boy, long ago. Up too late last night. Ooh. The berry picker from Orris. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were more, well, actually my streams are more suited to napping, so you're fine. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst in a time when society was at its worst, and for each crime that fearful travellers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, high road robbery. High road, not highway? One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships could take an easy road out. An easy and well-travelled road paved with temptations leading out of the city and into the gentry lands, where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Black Ridge Canyon. It was there that he met his surrogate family and saviors, that notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for each to such an ignoble life. For some reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of a night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Black Ridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worry being chastised for tarrying upon his return. Let's closely examine those there berries. I see nothing overtly untoward. Okay. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way Jesper passed by many familiar bush. I know the feeling. All priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience has its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in his new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in his task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. Let's have another little close pry here. What's going on? Berries in the basket. A nice little hood there. Look at that. Oh, yeah, lovely. A bit of storm, perhaps, brewing overhead. Whoop. A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? Now, how could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept towards the impending sound, hiding behind the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment more before the sound's source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jasper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around the corner of trees, led by 2 beautiful white horses and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jasper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without ever having witnessed such a sight before, Jasper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jasper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effect that the noble steed slid to a sudden halt within his precise control. What's going on here? He's still hiding behind the berry bushes. There's the stern rider. Poor Jasper. You boy, get out from behind that bush, he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. You startled me half to death, coming round the bend of my own drive, and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not to be any face. Jasper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and he's wearing a dress, was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through bramble and mud. I was picking berries. Jasper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jasper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expressions of the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicion that the driver might have had instantly evaporated, for the notion of a member of the unholy hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy. Jasper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. I know, and what luck I found them. I've only just begun picking, and how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold of the time to come back and procure this number. The driver bent down for a closer look. And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far. Jasper replied with a scripted response. A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods. My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all this way only this morning. It was true, Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jasper had travelled, and while the response could have been perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Black Bridge Canyon, he could see why it might seem less believable here. Sir, I have travelled much further and for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by man that would not be worth undertaking for the price such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself. Jasper felt happier with this response as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. In my youth, often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far. And even then my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I have never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward. It was Jasper's time to smile. Then let my efforts reward us both today. He raised the basket even higher. A taste in memory of your youth, sir? The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket, and at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, a dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jasper caught the man's startled eye.
And for that taste, I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth. The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets. Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause. Sorry, that's him. Though I will admit, I thought of taking your carriage and leaving you. The indignity of walking appeals to me. Unable to find the purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search for the seat under him. Why have you no purse upon your person? The driver slowly raised his hand, cautiously pointing towards the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered the knife's edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did in turn softly. There is a lockbox in the carriage. Well, come down then and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands, a concession, I assure you, of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree, where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. I know what you're after, you saucy devil. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile of kindness Jesper had seen on the man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion. I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me? Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignoring it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. If there is no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unkempt, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed passage in this vehicle. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's back seat, a large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, 2 observations were made. Totemic symbols found carved on all 4 sides of the box hinted that the box was very old and likely not created by an Orindian hand. It reminded him of artifacts from the old world and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock that would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing from his untenured position. Do you perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box? Without emotion, the driver replied, There is no key to that box. Jesper stood up. Easy enough, then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions and lifted the stone up, carrying it back to the box. If there was ever a time when that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent down and opened the lid. Inside it was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled with stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed, given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had again returned. You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed. Let's have a look at this box. It's got a hand on it. And some other stuffs. I can't really tell. If there's the priable stuff, then whatever. Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. What is it? That's one. Feeling his disappointment rising into anger, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. One what? Are you mumbling Arjonkur? And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? The man did not seem intimidated. 1 pace. He paused to reflect. 12 more and you will be dead. He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure, now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses and had never doubted the validity in the past, but now he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed. His mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? 12 more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could maybe live another 3 or 4 days, maybe more, given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide an additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would it do to be discovered here? Beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries, and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No. It would most certainly be better to face one's fate now, take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of its life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he helplessly looked about him for a solution, and if, by some stroke of luck, the gods had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him as he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of golden trim were beside him, the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4, perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. Let's have a little look at what's going on up here. No symbols as such. The poor dead fellow, face mashed in by... Has he got the wrong shoes on? And is he carrying a sword? No, come on. Come on, out you go. Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. What is it? Oh no, sorry, went back the wrong way, sorry. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat that appeared to be of some value, but the additional risk of undertaking such a task too great to chance, and so, after a profound breath, he took his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th steps, though they were quite large. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox whose typical function was to secure objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud, to the horses seemingly, Jesper took up the reins with confidence. Did I take a picture of this page? Oh, part 2. This is a monster. Below the Black Bridge. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her in such ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness, but did not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, then stepped back into the dim. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered. She was on 3rd watch today, quietly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend, who was more than likely already asleep. She crept through the cabin's main passage, careful not to wake the sleeping bandits around her. Like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow. Let's have a little look here. Hello, Miller. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked towards the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved, and Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Miller turned, following a finger, and saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for manoeuvring in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as the water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had others been around, they would certainly have been scolded for the unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. They had been on third watch together for over a month, and during a speechless time their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course, but intimacy, never. From their elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance to the cavern as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. Black Bridge was a link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Orris and Reddington. To the city-faring travellers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that the travellers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of her band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cabin-housed bandit, it was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expressions nor hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. Let's have a little look. There is the hole, and there is the bridge. It's a very fine bridge, too. Ravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, subtly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary, gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their month among the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away. Looking back to the canyon, squinting through the leaves, the two girls held still, watching and listening. It was not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Ravia held up two bent fingers. A rabbit? And a few moments later, two men emerged from the bridge's southern end. They were dressed in a familiar uniform, long grey coats with black facings, white waistcoats and black tricorn hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Blackguard. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at Black Bridge wasn't an unusual sight. It typically indicated an important traveller's impending passage across the bridge, information that the girls would promptly relay to their leaders as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years on the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the blackguard was nearby. The men had nearly reached the bridge's north end when Miller heard the horses, faintly at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eyes met Miller's. The same concern mirrored in each other's expression. They did not sound like the typical carriage cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the high road's gravel, they heard harsh clattering of hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention downwards, looking through the foliage, as the sounds were not coming from the high road but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had knocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go! Ravia was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing towards the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. This was a blackguard attack. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry. Before she even finished processing that thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse through such rough terrain. Yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of this sudden halt immediately shattered the front two wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over her shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. Down in the canyon, the entire horde of unholy hounds came spilling forth from the earth as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see that Ravia among their number, the only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There would be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. The gang's chieftain, Geoffrey Heartslasher, led the others, cautiously approaching the crashed carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. We get to see the effigy. What is that? Miller was unconscionable. Jesper had always been her favourite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every move, and the way a child trails behind an elder sibling. Tender-hearted, she had always called him, though deep down she had known that it wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among nettles of this cave, but he still had thorns, honed by a grim past, and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness, in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. The mysterious effigy they had found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out as somewhat special among the rows of similar swords, marking neighbouring plots. No one spoke, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. Is that a Arindia gravestone? I believe that it is. And there's that. Oof. Miller awoke the next day to thunderous shaking and rattling from the earth, a far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her, but even in alarm the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead. Louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave, her eyes now open wide, despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness, pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Ravia placed two bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling of the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began, blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. Ah, he grinned. Now they speak. Look at him. Such a proud man. So this is the mass grave of... Geez, that's bleak. Oh, that's the end of it. Far out. Oof. Sorry to come to you so late. 6, finally at work, but alas, there are problems already. They say that we should be grateful for problems because without problems we wouldn't have any work to do. It's true, I suppose. Okay, let's have a look up here, check the stats, the Hollywood records. 76 hours. Eek. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 3 more parlours and a hell of a lot more dartboards. Upgrade discs, red letters and sanctum keys. Alright. We'll just run around here and check the scrapbook. We pull schoolhouse, we have hallways and courtyards. Well, why wouldn't we? And we've got one thing to make only. That's exciting. We get another truth for finishing those as well. And 4 more. We've never crafted them or drawn the mechanarium. Okay, all right. Onwards then. What is the one thing we haven't crafted, I wonder? Where are we? Stuck in the library. That's fine. Is it fine? We've got the East Hall and the commissary to open, and that's pretty much it for this run. Okay. Take my steps, you bastard. Big woofy noises in there. Wow, we are... Hang on, there's nothing gathered. There's nothing gathered. This is a suboptimal design for sure. Where are we going? We are going to the... we've locked that whole thing off, haven't we? Okay, so no access to... Did we empty the aquarium? We emptied the aquarium. Did we... Hey, look, let's empty the pool. Can we empty the pool? Do we have enough? We should, yes. Oh, actually, maybe not.
My guess is that in order to empty the pool... Oh, how far away is the pool? 2 rooms. It will give us gold, but for what? We can't get in. We have keys. Okay. So, pool. Nope. Okay. One tiny little smifty-bifty bit of that. That's fine. And then into the aquarium you go. We have no need of aquarium. And then, nope, okay, none of that, that's fine. Pool into, I'll switch you off. Where can we dump that? Into the kitchen. Into the kitchen. Okay. But not all of the kitchen. I see. Of course not. There's that special one left, isn't there? Pool. Okay. Then aquarium. Then come on. Ooh. Ah! Of course, take it down to 1. Not a problem. We can deal. We'll put it in the reservoir for now. No, no, no. The pool don't fill that, do it? No. And if I draw more out, eek, that's not what I wanted at all. Balls. I'm going to have to put the kitchen's 3 in. Beans. Would you go in there? Can you go in there? I don't think you can. I don't think you will. Nope. Okay, whatever. Bum cakes. All right. Let's take the aquarium kitchens then. We can put 3 kitchen in there. That means that we can take the 1 out of here again. Mm-hmm. And then, all right, we've got about half an hour still to go. We're okay. Both full, that's fine. We have to go... Sorry, do we put you in the pool and then into the kitchen? Take that and party. And then... Nope. And then... Come on. Nope. Balls. Will you only empty from there into the pool? No. Really? Oh, it's the wrong way. That should be the other way. Of course it should. Fair enough. And then close and close. Ah, you with that one. Crazy. That's how we just did it, though, isn't it? We need to empty something else. What about aquarium? No, we were just doing aquarium, you doofus. What about fontaine? Fontaine works. Then we put fontaine into... Oop. Turn you off. Kitchen. Fill you up. Stop. Then can we take from maybe the greenhouse? Oh, gosh. It's late. Mind not working. Does this need to be here? No. You are set very much to out. Okay. So greenhouse won't take it. What about... Now... Take you. What am I trying to do again? Empty the pool. You out into... which one did we empty the pool from? I can't remember. Yeah, Zuckenberries. Nope. Wrong. Because I don't think the pool empties into you. Does it? Oh, fuck. No, it don't. Interesting. Okay. Nobody. I want the greenhouse, please. Nope. Oop. way. Can we put you in? No! Dagnammit. Straight reverse, please. And then realistically, I would actually like to empty you into there. How's that? One around the back. Empty. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. It's late. Back once again. The ill behavior. Now you're filling up. Empty and empty. Good. And then we'll fill you. Can I put you in there? Oh. Okay, but I don't think I can. Fill both tanks from, because you're not going to go in there in a million years, unless you're only going to go in there. Ah, beans. Can I put from here into there? Oh, yes, okay. But that's just going to get me back to the one spot, isn't it? Yes. And round we go again. Two now. Okay. How much does that leave us? I mean, can we just go and grab... Oh, come on. Wrong way, sir. Wasting my steps, it seems. But it's okay. We've got nothing to do. Can I get to my sweet boys? I can't. I can't access them anyway because I don't have the frickin' machine. We could go and see what we can make in the workshop. Fix me up, Mick. Okay.
It was a long shot.
Yeah, I should be able to figure this out. We did it before without. Oh, come on. Very clever. I would like to fill you up. Fill you up. Thank you. Come on. Don't be a dick. Realistically, up. And then, no, and then, can you give me another? Can you, if I, flip you down, still no, still no, you are hard no. Okay, okay. Oh, okay. Good news. You'll take an extra one, but kitchen, will you play? You will. Now, kitchen, will you play if I play this game? Whoop, and whoop, and whoop. That would be very handy if you could. You cannot. But look, you can take either. Come on. And then, oh, God's sake. No. Really? Mm-hmm. Come on. Give it me back. And then, no. You are such a tease, you bastard. So what about if we then put this into there? And then we put this into the reservoir. Stop and stop and stop and down and down. Not down. Yes, down. Okay. And then, you're across, that's fine. Come out. You hold down. I want you now to and up. And lastly, some up. Oh, thank God. Okay, all right. We did it, boys. This is all for freaking nothing. We have the keys, I suppose. This is the, car keys for the bowl. And then, because we've got nowhere else to go, Kiki. Often there's a load of cash down here. Far out. So we had the east wing. Oh, we can do that one, can't we? North. A compass would be really handy, actually, in this game. I would like to reset that. Prism, it's just going to be orange to orange. That's not terribly exciting. Start tomorrow with an extra 2. Yeah, but Rumpus Room, we get another vision of the future. So let's do that instead. At least that can kind of set us up for something fun. Money, money, money. Oh, what's the rumble? Oh, is it because we're just next to the laundry? Okay. So this is one of the brush. Let's see, it's the brush up. All right.
As it was foretold,
This is not me reading.
I am awakened at the sound of the drumming coil. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara. And I suspect you wish me to look into your future. Faintly in the mist, I see a figure. A statue cradled in a courtyard of sentinel stone.
It actually hasn't that much.
You will find yourself one day wandering these paths, walking in the footsteps of the past, wandering and waiting, searching for a shadow that will never be cast, longing for the day to end, the hours to pass. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Alzara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
You trickster. Okay. I think that's it. No. We have the conference room. Is that not a key card? I think it is. Well, we can go and have a look at. Oh no, we've also got the commissary. I forgot if I ate at the dining room. I probably did. Let's go to the commissary. See what we can. See. Actually, we didn't also do the other Eastward Hall door. Oh, there was not an Eastern Hall door. Of course not. Woo. There was just a little bit of lightning here, which is exciting. Can we get there another way? We cannot. I am tempted to take one out of the aquarium, but that's not how it works, is it? I need to yes, so much pumpage. I need to dump this into there. Come on. So much pumping. My fingers are raw. Oh, come on. That's not what I want, is it? I want you. It's this. Actually, I don't need it to be that. It's fine. It's fine. Oy, hang on. Auto mod. What? Oh, TF? Really? The Great Alzara. It's also me, of course. In one of my many other disguises. Hallway bedroom. Okay. Do not underestimate my many voices. Money, I saw you. Bye-bye, money. We never got through the glossary. Oh, it's because you were that. You don't have a keycard, do you? Running shoes. Sledgy. Nah, okay, we're borked. Borked. I say, oh, hang on, I disappeared. I didn't come back after the, what was the issue with TIFF? Ads. Sorry about that. And I never got a keycard. Okay, so we could try and get back to the conference room, but I don't think we'd make it. Yeah, I see them. Well, let's see how we go. Take my coin. Take my coin. I'm pretty sure that other exit was also a key card. Oh, so pumpy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can get there. Yeah. Oh, it's open. We didn't. God, this is going to be amazing, isn't it? What special keys do we have? Hey, look, we can try the prism, because why not? I don't think it'll work because we don't have anything terribly exciting. Food for sale. Well, let's nosh, baby. And it also gives us a reroll. That's very nice. We can put the tap on, because why not? Just in case you needed a wee. Eggs and bakey. Club Sanger. Okay, well, this is an unexpected late flourish. Oh, another kitchen? A kitchen on a kitchen. That's mad. We can redraw, but for what? Yeah, I was going to say, locksmith, don't need keys, thanks. But does this commissary sell something else? Bloomin' does. Bloomin' does not. Sledgehammer metal detect. What do I have? Actually, what, more importantly, do I need in order to make something? Everything is cake. Do you remember layer cake? Look at the butt. Such butt. Coin and rabbit. We don't have that. Salt shaker used in anything? No. Is that shock butt? Binding power, pick sound, we've done. Compass and battery pack. I don't think that's what we need. Of course, locked. This will turn off the gymnasium. We don't need it. I mean, nothing's... without the office, we can't do anything. The ballroom is nice. One key for every bedroom in the house, which is good, but we don't need keys. That gives us access to nothing berries. Ooh, again, no. Closed exhibit only works if you've access to the other side of the room, and we don't. If we got a key card in here, it would give us access to a room that we don't really need. Coin purse, baby. Okay, so we didn't get anything that we wanted. Okay, we've got a lot of shops, I suppose. That's something. So we can bounce. High roller. I don't think so. We call it a day. If we call it a day, is that it though? Because we might as well actually call it a day. We don't really have time to start a whole other... Oh my gosh, there's... Sorry. I noticed that the emote had actual licky. That's exciting. That's kind of raunchy. Okay, well, how about we pop some tunes back in to the scene. There we go. And we go, and are we going to be able to get out in time? I don't think we will. We can buy some more nosh at the kitchen. That's fine. Bacon and eggs, baby. I know it's morning in America. Does that make you want to pee? Drawing room. All right, we'll go outside. We'll sit somewhere nice. Yeah, but this is an awful config. We could open... Ooh. I don't think you can dig up a key card, but let's try. No. Almost as good. It's an old shoe. I was thinking we could reconnect this thing and go and have another look in the red room in the basement, but really it's not terribly interesting, so let's-n't. Yes, aquarium, and then... No, we want... I know, it sounds so exciting, doesn't it? It's just, I think you saw us go through it. The gymnasium is technically a red room, as is the chapel. It sounds mega raunch.
Double R beats on the instrumental.
Oh, beans. Come on, I know, you'd like to get excited, but it's a bit of a letdown. Do I wish to take one out of the... I think I do. I'm glad at least I was able to help you with your nap. I can't even be bothered. I'll sort it out another time. Okay. Oh, so disappointing. Cash beans. What were we here for? Can't even remember. Oh, after your nap, I'm pleased. Oh, look, it's dusk. We can go and flip some more coins into the... Oh, no, we've done that already. Okay. Actually, the little room down here often looks kind of nice after at dusk, if the light is on. If it has a light. I can't remember which one. It was the hovel, not the hovel, the shrine. Yeah, it looks kind of nice in the dusky evening. I'm looking for a nice, excuse me, scenic exit spot. I know it sounds bleak. We can look at the waterfalls or something, but from a better vantage point. Let's go down here. Look, the house is actually there this time, which is nice. Makes a nice change. Okay, all right. Thank you again. I'm calling it there for stopping by, everybody. Company very much appreciated. I will be back next week. Should we have the waterfall or the mountain? Waterfall or the mountain? I think the mountain. It's kind of emblematic of the game, so we'll leave it at that. Okay. All right, I'm not raiding out again because I don't think anyone else is playing this game that's streaming, so thank you very much for your company. Take care, tell the people that you love them, and I will be back next Monday, if not before. Keep your eyes on the soch, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Thanks very much, Jex, for your company. Love as always. Bye.